What's going on, everybody? It's Top Bets. We're checking back in. We got the On the Dot NFL Super Bowl show coming at you guys here on our now usual Friday nights as we've drifted towards the playoffs, getting them ready on Friday nights. A little different vibe, and we have a wonderful, wonderful matchup here. We have the 49ers versus the Chiefs. We're ready to get after it. It's going to be a little bit of a different show. I have some official plays, but I have a lot of, I would say, dart plays where I'm just going to sprinkle some money here and there. So I'll share kind of my personal plays that I'm just I'm hoping hit, but they are long shots, or longer shots than I normally would, because obviously it's the Super Bowl. I'm not going to go through 100 props, but we will go through some that have stuck out so far, and make sure you guys leave a comment, because there's a lot to dissect. So I want to know what you guys are on out there, and appreciate you guys tuning in each and every Friday. This is the final stream here for the NFL season. Sadly, as always, shout out to the Occupy Fantasy fam. They have been supportive all season long, and we put together some pretty good numbers. We are closing in about 18 units up for the season, so it's been a fun one. So shout out to those guys. You guys do have a chance. We were make sure you guys sign up with Occupy Fantasy. There's MLB coming up, NBA's full action, NHL full action, and as always, the Super Bowl. Get all their DFS advice, lineup optimizers. Make sure you guys go check out occupyfantasy.com. As always, we'll utilize their OccuProp radar, which we will do so once we dissect some props. And what they also have is a full-blown Super Bowl guide, and I printed it off. I got it right here. It's basically hundreds and hundreds of props that they tell you when to take them. So I thoroughly enjoy it, because it's not my forte to normally do, but Brian and Moose are really good at doing that. So shout out to those guys over at Occupy. Make sure you guys sign up. All righty. So the format basically of the show, what we'll do today, we'll go through. So I'll talk about basically the grand scheme, how I believe this game will play out. That'll lead into my first play, my first same game teaser play, and then we'll do a couple of official props, and then my anytime pick to click like we normally would, and then I will start going into the wild ones where, hey, just sprinkle some money because it's the Super Bowl, right? And we got some extra cash for the week, or from the year. So, all right. So basically, it's going to come down to how I dissect this game. It's pretty simple in my eyes. You have one of the youngest quarterbacks to play in the Super Bowl in Brock Purdy, and then you have one of the most influential, probably best quarterbacks of all time playing here with the Chiefs. Also with his best defense he's ever had. And they continue to be dogs. So, and I understand all the big money coming in here on the Chiefs, or big money coming in on the 49ers, even though that the public has bet a ton on the Chiefs. So I think it's kind of dictating how that Ravens Chiefs game ended up with the bets, where maybe the pros were on the Ravens, the Joes were on KC, but I think that's going to end up the same here. But I really, really like KC in this matchup. I'm actually for my first play here, I'm actually going to take an alternate line. So I think they're going to win. You can always take their money line. I'm going to go Chiefs -2.5 at +123. I got that over on DK. Chiefs -2.5. They're going to win. If they're going to win by field goal. If not, sprinkle their money line if you like instead. But yeah, Chiefs alternate line -2.5. Ultimately, think they get it done and repeat as champs for the second straight time being underdogs. So they were dogs last year in the Super Bowl, and they came through. And once again, they were and they're dogs again this year. I think the books did a fabulous job with this line because they're getting action on both sides. But ultimately, It's going to come down. As simple as I favor Mahomes over Brock Purdy in a huge, huge game. I understand the big, elite players for the 49ers, but the path that the Chiefs, they beat the Dolphins, they beat the Bills, and then they beat the Ravens. I mean, one of the greatest playoff runs probably ever. And now they get the 49ers, who have almost lost both their playoff games. Almost lost to the Green Bay Packers. Almost lost. Should have lost both games. Somehow, some way, kudos to them. And probably it's a breath of fresh air being back in the Super Bowl. They got a lot of revenge narrative as well. Losing to the Chiefs. I just think with the way that Chiefs defense is playing, and it's one of the best defenses, like I said, that Mahomes has ever had. So give me the Chiefs. I would love to hear from you guys in the chat. What do you guys think? If it's the 49ers or Chiefs you're in, I'm pretty confident enough to take an alternate line here with the Chiefs. And then I will kind of, to cover myself, we got a same game teaser. So I'm going to tease the Chiefs up because it's a great option to do through some key numbers here. And then I'm also feeling the under because these two teams play at such slow paces and they have those long methodical drives and not many explosive plays, which is pretty crazy because you would think Mahomes makes some crazy plays. Purdy can get out of the pocket, throw deep to Ayuk, make sure, a big play from Debo, or CMC makes some explosive runs. Just not the case. And as you can see, the pace of play from both of those teams are very, very slow and methodical, especially the Chiefs end. So I'm going to tease the under up and taking it down. So basically, it's the Chiefs plus 7.5, under 52.5. Took this over on DraftKings minus 125, taking that for a unit and a half. So, like I said, I love the Chiefs. Take them alternate line, but this is a nice little safe cover, and I believe I still think there's going to be scoring. Obviously, it's a Super Bowl. They're going to score. They're going to be opportunities. It's just, I think when it comes down to it, especially in the second half, because I don't know if you've noticed this, but the Chiefs have basically, on average, I think, given up 7 to 8 points in the second half of games this year. I mean, it's absurd. Spagnuolo basically comes in at halftime and shuts the other team down. So give me the under here. And for like a novelty prop here or a game prop, I would favor the first half over and then take the second half under. That's basically been the MO for the Chiefs all season long. They're one of the best teams to the under in the entire NFL, if not the best. So give me one of them. Give me the under there with the Chiefs teased up. So just a kind of way to cover us here on that end. And then I do have a first carry prop, and this could be good or bad, obviously, but do like CMC here to get over 3.5 yards on his first carry. So minus 115. I mean, they're going to be all pumped up to start this game, and CMC to get 4 yards on the first carry. Great line in my opinion. But I wouldn't take the under here. You got a lot of explosiveness out of CMC, ready to go. I think we see some good push by that line. Like I said, it's very, very gimmicky, but make sure you don't go crazy with this one. But over 3.5 first carry is good with me. And I actually have forgot to put this one in over. And then, so the next one here we got is another guy that I like for sure is going to be on the San Fran. He's going to be, so for DFS wise, he's going to be probably one of my favorite plays. It's going to be Debo or Rice. Going to be my favorite two plays. And Debo over 58.5 receiving yards. One of my favorite plays of the week for Super Bowl. And for good measure here, I almost took his receptions because I did see a very good prop of him having the most receptions in the game. So, and that's like plus 500. So that is worth a sprinkle. I think Debo is such an X factor to this offense that it's going to run through him. And the Chiefs are going the way that they've been going. They have been very, very good at stopping elite wide receivers on the outside. So Brandon Ayuk, love you, buddy, but I don't think you're going to have too much success in the Super Bowl this year. Debo is going to be used all up and down the field, running or rushing and receiving. I've seen a lot of people take the rushing plus receiving, his prop there, but I do like his receiving yards here. Obviously, I think a couple weeks out from that hurt shoulder, and he put up 89 last week or a couple weeks ago against Detroit. So, and he was a big factor in that comeback win. So, and you've also seen 63, 79, 116, 149 throughout the season. And then you have seen the lows down into the 30s and the 20s. But I think big time game, they're going to dial up Debo Samuel. And then if you do want to sprinkle one of my favorite game props is Debo to have the most receptions in the game, which is plus 500. And really, all I think he needs to beat out is Travis. I love Rashee Rice, but you got to believe that they're going to target Travis all day long. So if the 49ers get down, like I think they will, they're going to have to pass the football. And I think a lot of dump offs potentially and some quick routes to Debo to get him in an open field. So plus 500 is not a bad idea here for the most receptions in the game. And my pick to click basically for the anytime touchdown. We're going to go, and I normally wouldn't take this because it's minus money. But we are going to go, Pacheco all day long, minus 115. He's scored in like 7 straight games. And the way that this Chiefs offense is playing this season, he is integral. Without Pacheco, they would not be where they're at. He's basically given them a second life with the way he's been playing. He's got 110 yards, 130, 89, 97, 68. I've seen a lot of people get on his rush yards early and often. Now it's as high as 72 and a half. Not going to go that high with me, but anytime touchdown, I have a very, 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 very good intuition here that he's going to get in with the Chiefs, how they drive, how they want to play in the red zone, and Pacheco ultimately scoring in like 7 straight games. No brainer, in my opinion. And then another nice prop or game prop that I like is both teams to score 1+ rushing touchdown. So both teams to score 1+ rushing touchdown. That's over on DK. I got is plus 120. So ultimately, in my head, I'm thinking Pacheco gets it, and then CMC. Or what if Mahomes scrambles in and CMC gets it? I'm pretty sure that's a pretty good one there. No is minus 140 if you want to fade me, but I think plus 120 there is a good measure there. And the same game parlay for the anytime touchdowns, just go ahead, take Pacheco, take CMC, and flip a coin with Kelsey or Debo. Put one of those two in there, or hell, put all 4. But I do like the under, so it's tough for me to recommend doing that. I'm not going to officially give out a same game parlay anytime touchdown, but I do like Pacheco minus 115. All right. So let me hear from you guys. Well, I'll be here for another 5 minutes or so. So it is a very different stream tonight. It's not as you got your spreads and totals, you got your props, you got your anytime touchdowns, whatnot. So love to hear from you guys and what you guys are thinking, what props you guys have taken for sure. But we got I'm gonna try to see if I got I did say the first half highest. So DFS. It's the showdown format, the captain showdown format. If you guys don't know much about it and you want to dive in for the first time, I highly recommend going to Occupy Fantasy and downloading their showdown guide. It's it is crucial that you do because you will know exactly basically how to play each slate. So they laid out for you very, very well. Make sure you guys will get one over on occupyfantasy.com. How I'm playing it is probably going to captain Rice or Debo and fill in from there. Maybe get a little bit different. And if I play Rice, I don't play Rice with Mahomes. I play Rice with Purdy. And then if I play Debo, I play Debo by himself and pair him with Mahomes. Because a lot of people, when you do that, they like to pair it with, their respective quarterback, which makes sense. But in under games, and if you're building lineups as an under game with a ton of, basically the wide receiver ones getting a ton of run, necessarily you don't need to have that particular quarterback to do well, or just fade the quarterbacks completely if you're building an under play as well. But I can't blame you if you want to stack CMC at the top. Guy's been unbelievable this year. So let's. Then I have one last prop. So this one makes no sense to me, but the price difference on each side. So the price difference on each side is a little bit different. So I was on DraftKings earlier, and it's each team to score 1+ touchdown in each half, and each team to score 1+ field goal in each half. And so that's plus 800 on DraftKings. Then I was like, all right, well, let's just see what FanDuel's got, and FanDuel has that at plus 2,600. So don't take that over on DraftKings. Take that over on FanDuel. So plus 2,600. So sprinkle on this one with each team to score 1 touchdown and 1 field goal in each half. So I think that's a pretty doable thing. And I think the price difference there is pretty substantial. And plus 2,600, put a little sprinkle on that. If it doesn't hit, don't come back and boo me. But I think it's worth a nice little price shop there. And I do like some game specials. Those from on FanDuel are really, really fun to kind of deal with. So those game specials, so like Debo, 25+ receiving yards in both halves. So that's plus 200. Don't mind that one bit. If you want to get crazy, if you think Travis is going to go absolutely bonkers, you could take him 50 receiving yards on both halves, and that is plus 370 over on FanDuel. And then there was one crazy one that I saw. It was I can't find it right now. Of course I can't. But it was basically the one of the quarterbacks to catch a pass for a touchdown. A little Philly special. I think it's like plus 11. No, it's like plus 9. I think it's plus 9,000. And then the other one that I saw that was high up there in odds plus 1,100 was CMC, Pacheco, and Travis to combine for 6 touchdowns or 5+ touchdowns. So if you think, and for good measure, those 3 are going to score a significant amount of times and factor in for 5+, that's plus 1,100 over on FanDuel. So don't mind that whatsoever. But the big one that I saw that was some crazy odds was each team to score 1+ touchdown and 1 field goal in each half. And so that was plus 2,600 on FanDuel, plus 800 on DraftKings. So make sure if you do take that over on FanDuel there. So yeah, let's run down real quick before we get up on out of here. We got Chiefs minus 2.5 alternate line. Love the money line. If you want to just take the money line, I'm going to alternate, take the minus 2.5, win by a field goal. Be great. Going to cover myself here. Going to go same game teaser. Chiefs plus 7.5, under 52.5. Little juice, but I like that particular play to save us there, as I'm more than likely on the under overall. But I do like this play here. And then you have the first carry for CMC. So very, very, we're going to know at the beginning of the game, over 3.5 yards first carry. And then probably my favorite player to probably go off in this game is going to be Debo, over 58.5 receiving yards. Like I said, You can take his most receptions of the game at plus 500 over on DraftKings. And then my pick to click, we're going to go Pacheco minus 115 to score a touchdown. Usually don't take many minus odds there, but the way that he's been scoring, it's tough to not go that route. And I've seen everybody on Travis Kelce, so let's get a little bit different. Let's get a little bit different. Plus 100 is Travis to score, which I would think would be like minus 120. And I have seen a lot of love for like Justin Watson's, the Noah Grays, the and the Rashee Rice as well to score. So, but just give me what's gotten there. Andy Reid's not going to mess around. Let's just hand the ball off to Pacheco and do what he does all season long. And then if you do want to take a particular same game parlay, I would obviously do CMC Pacheco because I'm on that rushing touchdown. Each team to score one plus rushing touchdown for plus 120. And then maybe pair it with Kelce, maybe pair it with Rice or Kittle, and or throw with Debo. I ultimately am kind of off Kittle in this game for good measure. I think the Chiefs are very, very good against tight ends, and I do see a big play for him in this game. I just think overall he's just not going to be too much of a factor, and it's going to be the Debo CMC show with how elusive both of them are against this very, very, very tough Chiefs defense. So appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week of this NFL season. As always, we continue with PGA streams each and every Tuesday night. I think we had our biggest stream of the week last Tuesday, and we got the Waste Management going on currently. If they ever get done with the first 2 rounds, because apparently there's frost in the desert in the morning. So it's a fun one out there. So appreciate you guys tuning in. It was a blast all season long, and let's continue it next year. We're going to have much more success. Let's get to 20 plus units to end this season. So appreciate you guys tuning in as always, and let's cash some tickets. See you guys.